going on, monsters? It's Mike, and I'm back today with a new video. Modern Jund. Now let me elaborate a little more. I'm going to be doing a deck tech on Modern Jund. Jund has been my favorite deck to play for a really long time. I'm super excited to be doing this video, especially because the mechanic changed with Companion. I'm going to stop talking, we're going to get right into the deck. So, getting right into the deck. Alright, so I am not playing Companion Lurrus. I'm playing 2 Lurrus main. I'm going to get into that in my thought process, but I'm going to go up the mana curve. So 1 Nihil Spellbomb. I think the card is good against posing Kroxas, Oros, and other graveyard type synergy decks. It's good value, especially with the Lurrus. You can kind of see the reason behind it. It's almost the same reason why you play the Mishra Baubles with the Lurrus, except for Mishra Bauble with Lurrus was insane because you can play Lurrus on 3 in Mishra's Bauble. It's just very powerful. Seal of Fire. Same reason why I'm playing with the Lurrus. I did cut 1 bolt over it, and I'll get into that when I get to the bolts, but the Seal of Fire is good with Tarmogoyf. It's an enchantment. And it just can bring you value against burn and prowess type decks. So these 2 are very good against burn together. You just kind of burn the creature, swing with the Lurrus, and gain the life with it. 3 bolt. I mean, the card's insane. Fun little tip: 3 damage, and if you have a wrenn and 6 on the board, 4 damage. I mean, it seems simple, but sometimes people miss that. And killing a Thought-Knot Seer is insane. So. For discard type effects, 2 Thoughtseize, 4 Inquisition. Now, I used to play 3-3 split. Right now, I don't really know what the meta's like, but if there's burn and prowess and very aggro decks everywhere, I don't want to be on 3 Thoughtseize. The 2 life downside is a lot. It's against burn and other type decks. So I'd rather just have the extra Inquisition, and if I'm playing against big mana decks, sometimes these come out. Most of the times these come out. Well, the Inquisitions do. And Thoughtseizes kind of tend to stay in. But with the creature removal, we've got Fatal Pushes here. I think it's a Jund staple. If you run to creature decks, you want to see this card opening hand. Or against Infect, stuff like that. Same thing with Bolt and Seal of Fire. Wrenn and 6, an insane value engine for the people that have played OG Jund. When this came out, we took out Bob and we put this in. The card's nuts. It's very hard to deal with. It's very hard to answer. If you can't answer this and left unchecked, it just can win games by itself, especially against control type matchups. This paired with Liliana the Veil is very, very good. You just tick up, put a land back in your hand, discard it with Liliana the Veil. Assassin's Trophy and Abrupt Decay. Kind of the flex spots. The Assassin's Trophy, the downside is, for those who don't know, is the opponent gets to search their deck for a basic land, and they get to put it in play untapped, but we get to destroy whatever permanent on their side of the field. Now, Abrupt Decay destroys a permanent of 3 CMC or less. That downside is a lot better than this downside, but this it can go uncontested, and Assassin's Trophy can kill Jace the Mind Sculptor if need be. It can hit a Tron land. It can hit anything. And that's the reason why I do like having 1. It's just a utility card. Abrupt Decay it's good against other creature decks, small enchantments like Blood Moon. So it's split right now. Depending on how the meta checks out, I'll take cards in and out. Kroxa. This has been the best addition in Jund in a really, really long time. One of the best creatures in the deck. In my opinion, it can take 9 life essentially from an opponent. It finishes off games really, really quick, especially late game. Tarmogoyf, it's our beater. It's been our beater from day one. If you don't know what Termaglyph is, go look it up. And it's the heart of the Jund deck, in my opinion. Scavenging Ooze. Some people are on this, some people are off this. I think with all the burn that could possibly be running around, especially in a new type of format, since they nerfed lurrus, I think burn is still going to be very powerful, and so is prowess. This card is very good if it's unchecked by either one of those decks. Also, in the mirror match, getting rid of Kroxa is nuts. A lot of times this wins the mirror match and not these. Same thing with the Uro or against Bant Snowblade. Getting rid of stuff is just important. If you're both top decking and they have an Uro in the grave and you top deck this, you get rid of their Uro and they're not drawing an extra card. Uro is probably like our bane. We don't want our opponent to see Uro. Maelstrom Pulse, another flex spot. Some Jund players are cutting it, some aren't. I just like it answer all that has no drawback. Its drawback is that it's 3 mana, but it's essentially has no drawback. It can't hit lands, but it can blow up a whole bunch of servo tokens if need be, or goblin tokens against Storm. Kolzilek's Command. You can go 2, you can go 3, you can go 1 if you want. It's the same thing. Like, I think it might be correct because I don't know if robots right now is going to be doing its thing since lurrus got hit, but they're still a very powerful deck. Super good against Urza and can blow up that servo. Good against control decks. When you resolve this and get back a Termaglyph, it's good. It's powerful, especially in the same turn. Now lurrus. Lurrus was being played in the side as the companion in the lurrus Jund, as we know, but since the mechanic is now not as good as it was, we're trying it in the main deck. 2 may not be correct. 1 may not even be correct. But since it's kind of a new format, I want to check this out. I want to see how it does. I like the Snapcaster-esque ability. I like to be able to get my Termaglyph back or my Scavengers, even a Kroxa, to deal some extra damage late in the game. Also, where relevant, this has lifelink, I believe. Yes, yeah, he has lifelink. And super good against burn. Liliana the Veil is just my favorite card. I love this card. She's not as good as she used to be. She's still very good if it's a control type format. I cut one of her though for a lurrus, and the same thing with Bloodbraid. Now we're gonna move on to Bloodbraid. I like 3 Bloodbraid in the old version of Jund. I wasn't a big proponent of 4 Bloodbraid. I hate clunky hands. I hate stuff like that. Now I feel like this deck might be a little clunky, and I think I have too many 3-drops, but we'll see. We're gonna play it, but I cut 1 Bloodbraid and 1 Liliana for a lurrus, so it may not be correct, but I'm gonna have fun with it. So we're gonna move on to lands. You'll see 3 Blackleaf Cliffs here. That's because I play 2 Raging Ravine. Most Jund players only play 1 now. This card has finished off so many games for me. I don't want to cut it down to 1. It's just insane. The card's nuts. You'll see Forest, Snow-Covered Mountain, and Swamp. The only reason these aren't snow-covered is because I haven't bought them yet. I will buy them, though. I don't want to tilt anybody. Nurturing Peatland, and everything else is pretty self-explanatory with the lands. So I'll zoom in a little more if you guys want to get an idea of the deck list. I will post the deck list down below in the above the comment section. Now we're gonna get into the sideboard. This is not an orthodox sideboard. Like I said, I don't know what's gonna be going on. I don't have a local meta, and it seems like a little bit of everything. And I'm gonna go through why each thing is here. Collective Brutality, yet again against the burn matchup. I like having more utility in my sideboard than consistency. And that's just my opinion. Other people are different. 2 Plague Engineers. If there's a lot of creature decks, this card is insane. Now, there's an elemental deck, that human deck that's been running around. I think that Plague Man is going to be very powerful post-lure still, because I think those decks don't really too much get affected, and people like playing aggro, especially in new type formats. Nihil Spellbomb. You can play Leyline of the Void, either or. I just like that this buffs Goyf, and it goes well with Lurrus. And it might not be correct. It might not be the correct thing to do. I'm going to try it. Seal of Primordium. That was an Ancient Grudge. I took the Ancient Grudge out, and like I said, it has this Seal of Primordium has some synergy with Lurrus. You're going to see I have a lot of artifact hate. I just like blowing up great cards. That's just my thing. And like I said, it's probably wrong, but whatever. Pillage. Why I'm not playing Fulminator is the same reason why everybody else is probably not playing Fulminator. Veil of Summer. That is a blowout. Veil of Summer is a blowout against Fulminator Mage. Although you can buy it back with Kolgan's command, I mean, I don't think it's worth it in the sideboard. Damnation, same reason I'm playing Plague Man. I just like unconditional removal of the board, and it may be wrong, and that card probably can come out of my sideboard. I just like it. I'm gonna play it. 2 Collector Oofs. I've stopped so many people from tapping their Astrolabe with this. It's not even funny, and it just stunned them for a few turns, and you're just beating them down with the Oof, a Goyf or something, or another Skrubz. I like this against Ravager type decks and other artifact decks. I like artifact hate, like I said. Dark Confidant. Well, interestingly enough, he's in the sideboard. Now, for those who don't know, Jund has always played Dark Confidant. The reason he's in the side is I want like 1 or 2 cards against the control matchup from the sideboard. So I'll pull out like a Fatal Push or something, and I'll put a Dark Confidant in, along with maybe like another Fatal Push with a Nihil Spellbomb. I'll take the Fatal Pushes out and put those in. Dark Confidant's a great card, but I don't think he's a great main board card right now. If you're facing out opposing Wrenn and 6s, well, that's not fun to get him killed on turn 2. And for the last 2 cards is Ashiok Dream Render. I think this card is nuts. It is a nutty card. It's super, super good against Am Titan and other decks, like anything that are digging and searching their deck, Scape Shift, all those type of decks. It's great against other fetch lands, obviously. You're not bringing it in a lot of times against other control decks. Sometimes you do if they're graveyard oriented. I think the card's really good. I love Ashiok Dream Render. So, like I said, this is a new format. I think there's going to be a lot of burn, and I don't think a lot of people are going to be wanting to play Tron. That's why I don't have Dampening Spheres in here right now. This is going to change. Jund for me, and I'm going to explain this the best way possible, is probably the most modular, resilient deck. It has been here since day 1 of Modern, pretty much. And it has been so resilient. People have been always changing it up. There's such a huge community for Jund. And knowing and learning how to play a deck, and especially with Modern, consistency with playing the deck and learning the deck is so important. I have a strong opinion that you can win a Modern tournament with any deck that you are comfortable with. As long as you don't see the worst matchups all day, you can win with whatever you are comfortable with. And that's why it's so important to change things up in decks. And testing things and seeing what works for the format. At the end of the day, play what you want. Play what you're going to have fun with. And I'm going to play a league with this, and I'm going to have some fun with this. Well, there you have it, monsters. That is my Jund deck tech. If you guys like the video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you guys like my content, subscribe down below. And if you guys want to see more content like this, give me a comment down below. And I'll get those cards together and make whatever decks you guys want me to make. And we can go do leagues with them. That would be awesome. Also, share with your Magic buddies. That would help my channel out so much. Share with modern players, share with new players. So, until next time, monsters, I will be seeing you.